So this is our second attempt at, well, not attempt, but second time loading with Marco. It's the same day as in the last video, just we put him away for 5-10 minutes to give him a break, which is really important in this loading training, giving them a break. It gives you a little bit of a moment for latent learning to take a little bit of an effect. Latent learning is better if left overnight or 24 hours or so, a little bit longer, but it does have plenty of an effect, enough to be able to just put them away for 5 minutes to get him on a lorry. So if you're ever having troubles with your horses loading and you get somewhere with them, rather than squash them onto the lorry, take them away for 5 minutes. It helps a lot. Give them 5 minutes just to calm down and let that stress relieve and have a little bit of a walk around, get the red down a bit. So in this session, again, we're not going to ask for too much. We're just going to ask him to learn to weight bear on the ramp. So he's got to figure out how to balance himself on the ramp and commit to taking these steps now. So we're just letting him take it all in. Everything's really slow and careful. We're not doing anything, rushing anything. There's no pressure for him to come on the ramp. At no point are we going to ask him to come all the way up this lorry today. I can't remember if the second session I do or not, but today in this session, the whole hour and a half I think I worked with him here, he doesn't get asked to go up all the way up on the lorry. I'm only asking him for feet on the lorry. Learn to balance yourself, be comfortable around the lorry, and realise it's not as big and scary and stressful as they think it is. If there's any moments where in these videos where I feel it's important to pause it and talk about it for a minute, I will do.
Yeah, good boy. There we go. Big step. Good lad. Big steps. Big steps onto the lorry, haven't you? That was a bit
All I'm doing is making sure that every time he makes an attempt to step in on the lorry, he gets to back up, so there's no expectations of trying to hold him there. No, there, nice big step, almost commits. I think he does commit here, I can't remember. Nearly, very nearly, but he gets a nice walk. He gets to walk away this time. So the lorry at the minute for him is a lot of pressure, and we always talk in natural horsemanship about pressure and release, and that's not just from the person holding the reins and from the person holding the rope. The lorry itself is pressure, so we're using negative reinforcement here to teach him to load in this lorry. You come towards it, you can come away from it. In itself, this lorry is a lot of pressure for him. And in the early days, I'll make sure that it's a little bit easier for them, that they're straighter onto the lorry, but as they get later on in the loading process, I expect them to do that themselves. I'm not going to micromanage the horses all the way through it. There we go. Nice big step onto the lorry. He panics a little bit and doesn't want to stay there, which is fine. I don't expect him to. I don't expect him to stay on that lorry at all, and he's also a little bit worried about those bags over there. So we're just going to carry on. There's a lot going on this yard to distract him. There we go, he gets his foot on a bit. I think he commits again here, so this is where I ask him to commit. And now I just want him to stand for a moment and be comfortable with his weight on the lorry and understand that it will support him. You've got to remember these things are hard for them to understand, that they can support the weight and they're not just going to fall through it or fall off it, and they've got to go high. This horse has never held his back in that position before. It's going to stretch his back out in a way he's never felt it. There's all sorts going on that this horse has never felt in his life. Terrifying bags as usual.
It's the white bags by the looks of it.
But these little walkaways just releasing a bit of pressure. Granted, he's finding pressure somewhere else, but it's not the lorry doing it. So this time, I'm going to ask him to commit to the step. That's not good enough this time. We know you can stand in it. I know you know it will hold your weight. It's not an issue anymore. There we go. Just want him to be comfortable standing on the lorry and figuring it all out and just being there comfortably. At the end of this video, again, I put him away for another 5-10 minutes before getting him out again. But all we're asking of him is just to learn how to weight bear on the lorry. At every point in the training, all we're asking is for him to learn each step of the way how to be comfortable in every single step. I don't want him running up and down the ramp and panicking, because that's how you get a horse that won't load later on. He needs to think about what he's doing, although he's trying to look at everything else. That's just an avoidance thing. But here we go. He's getting a lot better at committing to these steps now. He's a lot more comfortable with it, and he'll just get better from there. He may put the odd one in where he goes, I don't really want to do it, but as a whole, we should get better from there. From this point, it should only progress further. We'll get a few steps back, but I did his last session today, and we haven't had many. There we go. I think I end it here. I think I end the session here. Give him a good scratch.